Hey y'all, this is Victoria Staten. Monday's Muse, your weekly wellness dose. I have Cassie Riley today on live with me, and we're going to be talking about being too smart to diet. You're in for a great show, so just give me 1 second while I get her on. Yeah, I pronounced your name right. Cassie, Casey, I think it's probably Cassie. Hey,
Hey, how are
how
you?
are you? Good. Thank you so much for joining me today. Sorry, I'm not at my home today, and there's like a dog park across the street. So I try to wear my AirPods to eliminate some of the noise. So hopefully that helped.
Yeah, I
But
know. I live right off of Bardstown Road, and it's always so loud. So I also apologize if you hear like cars zooming by.
no problem. That's a fun area in town. Um, but yes, and it's Cassie, right? Not Casey.
Cassie, yep, that's
Yes, I said the wrong thing, but I got it right. Okay. So, yes, just to kind of introduce Cassie, she is a former real estate guru turned certified integrative nutrition health coach, degree fitness instructor, and graduate student. She's established her health coaching in 2020, continuing to grow her presence and successfully help clients reach their specific wellness goals. She addresses things like how to control your blood sugar, boost your metabolism, put your body in a fat burning mode by making good food choices. But one thing that really stuck out to me was the too smart to diet, which we will talk about later in more detail.
yeah.
But yes, thank you so much for joining me. And I always like to say a quick disclaimer, and basically the disclaimer is that we are not your doctor. So if you are going to make any health changes, please consult your doctor first. Everything that we're going to discuss is based on our own personal experience and education. So of course, proceed at your own risk, but definitely consult with your doctor before making any nutritional changes.
Yeah,
Okay?
for sure. A quick
Yes.
before we start, is
Yeah.
get like the comments down so that I can see you.
Yes.
This
Let me see.
doing this, so
There you go.
aha.
Yep, I
Yeah,
can turn off commenting.
thank
So
you.
you're welcome. So I can always turn it back on later if there's people that have questions. Stick around. There
Okay.
also will be a replay, so you can comment on the video if you have questions, and Cassie will be able to access that, as well as I always upload this to my YouTube channel. So if you have questions there, I'll have all of her information for you to be able to get in touch with her. So don't worry that she's not going to just like ghost you after this conversation. You'll be able to reach out to her again. Yeah, yeah. So, Cassie, why don't you tell everyone about yourself? I know you're back in school, so please tell us more.
Yeah. Okay. So about a year ago, I decided to leave my career in commercial real estate. I was 6 months into studying to be a certified holistic nutrition coach through IIN. And at first, I really decided to do the program just for myself. Like I wanted to feel better and feel more confident and really know how to like properly fuel my body to feel good, which is why I originally chose to do the program. But then as I got into it, I was like, whew, there's something here. Like I'm feeling real fulfilled.
Yeah,
I
that's awesome.
kind of want to make this like my forever career. So 6 months into that program, I decided to leave real estate and then take the education a little bit of a step further. So I applied to a master's program and got accepted over last summer. And so now I'm currently also a grad student studying
Awesome.
nutrition of health. I became a fitness instructor at Sculpt 6 for anybody that is local here to Louisville. I am a recipe creator, and that kind of stems from loving food. I just love food. I love to eat.
Yeah, that's
um,
awesome. And yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, that's good. And then I also have an internship. So I work for a dietitian. She's based out of Atlanta, a licensed dietitian. And she has the program. It's called the Metabolism Makeover. So I just help her really with a lot of her meal plans and recipe creations, and just learning, a lot from her too as I further my education. So
That's awesome. Getting that firsthand experience, and um, you know, we have so much in common. We're gonna have to like go have lunch because it's the same. Like I worked corporate for a while, but I'm an entrepreneur, so I have like businesses, and it's so important and imperative just to throw this out there for people that maybe you're not doing what you dream to be doing to do it. Like I'm about to be 30 in October, and I'm back in school getting an herbalist master's, and I'm becoming a naturopathic doctor at 30, almost 30. It's
Yeah.
never too late. Like you go after your dreams because, like you said, it's so fulfilling to learn things. Same. I was doing this schooling for more knowledge, but I'm like, I can help more people with this, so why not share it? That
Yeah.
is so amazing. So
Why not make this my career? And like, I think too, when you have that mindset of it's okay to be a student forever, like to always learn and grow, like that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So, and I'm
not at
33
all.
and I never like thought that I would be back in school at the age of 33, but I love it. So it's all
That's
good.
amazing. Yeah. Well, hats off to you. I'm glad
Yeah,
you're doing it.
you too.
Yes. So please tell me, what exactly do you do for those that aren't really familiar with integrative health and nutrition and your business? What all do you do?
Yeah, so I launched my health coaching business like a very, very soft launch in January of 2020. My first client was my sister, uh,
Mhm.
her sister, and I thought, okay, I'll just start here with family, like really close family. And I worked with her over the course of, it was probably 6 to 8 months, and she lost over 50 pounds.
Wow.
And you could just tell, like, not only physically did she transform her body, but she was just so much happier with herself.
Mhm.
And that is when I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to create my own health coaching program. So I just slowly started taking on, more family members, friends, close friends, and then it just kind of grew from there. I started meeting people out in the Louisville community at gyms like Yoga State and Sculpt Six and places like that. And, really just like growing a presence and awareness of what I was doing. And slowly but surely, my client list is growing and it's awesome and it's super fulfilling. So a little bit of like what I do on a day-to-day basis with my clients is when they join the program, we start with a discovery call. We figure out what are your wellness goals? Like, what are you trying to accomplish here? And from there, we really set like a specific personalized wellness plan. And it's not something that I'm just like, you should do this, this, and this. It's really about like brainstorming those things together, and making it like, I love the word bio individuality. Like everybody is different. There's not one size fits all for everyone. Like
Yes.
for me, might not work for you. And so
Right.
really spending that one-on-one time via these, personalized coaching calls. So I don't really do the group coaching like some other people do, which is totally fine too, because that works as well. But I love the one-on-one aspect of it and really getting to know the person and what they're trying to do. And then we set these realistic time frames, right? Like, I'm not your girl if you're trying to lose 20 pounds and like that's not what I'm doing here. So and we focus on really creating these like lifelong sustainable health habits, by these little teeny tiny tweaks in our everyday lives and stacking those habits on habits until eventually those old habits that maybe aren't as nourishing or working for us anymore, eventually they just, kind of go away and they get replaced with these new behavior changes. So
Yes. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So tell me your story. Like, how were you first introduced to nutrition to even want to get more involved with this?
Yeah. So it kind of goes way, way back. When I was in fifth grade, my mom went back to work. I have two younger sisters. So my mom went back to work, and I was kind of tasked with getting dinner ready and having it like ready to go by the time my mom and dad got home from work. And so I really fell in love with cooking and with food and eating. I've always had like this passion for health and wellness. I have a bachelor's degree in public health. So before I did real estate for 8 years, I managed a nonprofit dental program for children. So I did that for a while. And I always had this passion too of helping people, wanting to help people.
Mhm.
Um, when I look years ago back into like my passion for nutrition, I was looking at it though from all the wrong angles. Like for me, it was, what's the latest fad diet that I can try? Or like keto trend, or take the like, fat burning pill that's magically gonna like, make me lose weight.
Yeah.
So I was looking at it from all the wrong angles. And so, oh gosh, it was probably like 2 or 2.5 years ago, I decided like, I'm going to invest in myself. Like for my 30th birthday, I'm going to hire my own nutritionist and work with somebody. I'd never done it before. And I was just at this place where like, I didn't feel good. I didn't feel like I looked good because I didn't feel good on the inside. I wasn't confident. I had a long history of gut issues and just all these things that just like had added up over time. And so I decided like I'm going to hire a nutritionist. And so I started working with her and I was like, I'm obsessed with this. Like I want to be you. And so then that's when I joined IIN to get my certification, and it kind of all just like trickled out from there. To, I'm on my path to becoming a licensed dietitian. So I still have a little bit of schooling to do, but on the right path now.
That's cool. And that kind of also reminds me of people that maybe don't know, what am I supposed to be doing? If you just think about the things that you've always loved, that's a clue right there. It's a huge clue, because I know I believe in God. So I always say God gives you certain desires for a reason. So maybe it is health and wellness, or maybe it is nutrition, or maybe it's law, or whatever it is. That is a huge clue to know what you are put on this earth to do, or what you want to do for the rest of your life. That's going to be fulfilling. So
Yeah.
that's cool how you've kind of always had such an interest in it.
It doesn't have to just be a hobby, right? Like
Right.
that can be your job. That can
Yeah.
be, make money and your source of income. Like do what you love all day,
Mhm.
every day.
Yes, yes. And it won't feel like a job, if you
Exactly.
love it.
Exactly.
So with your additional schooling, have you found that you'll be able to provide like additional resources to your patients?
Yeah. So right now, because I'm just a certified nutrition coach, I can't give like very specific diet advice. So
Okay.
I can't tell a person you can only have half a cup of quinoa per day, or whatever it is,
Hmm.
diet information like that. So, but when I become licensed, I'll be able to give a little bit more of that like specialized diet recommendations, I guess you could say. So, I am excited about that, but also too, what I'm learning is that it's not so much about that. It's way more about what is off of the plate and outside of like what just goes in your mouth and how much exercise.
Yes.
And those are the things that I am allowed to talk about as a life coach, a health coach, like
Mm,
talk about all those things off of the plate that are affecting you not being able to reach those wellness goals.
that's so huge. It's holistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many factors into people, especially somebody that wants to lose weight. Okay, well, what about emotional trauma? Or, there's just so many different things, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to your tagline, too smart to diet. What
Yeah.
started what started that? What does that mean to you? So, yeah, how did you explain that to someone?
Okay. So I just was feeling like so fed up with the false promises that the fad diets were claiming, the products out there, their marketing schemes, their advertising schemes. Like, I was just feeling like really fed up with it, and like, this doesn't work. Like, maybe short term keto will work for somebody, maybe short term, it's science. Like, that's obviously going to work. But what
Right.
long-term results, so um in working with my own licensed dietitian and my internship and just starting to do my own independent research and study, like I was like, I have to find a way to free people from thinking that they ever have to diet again. Like, and that is so freeing, I think, to think about too, is like, I will never ever have to diet again because I just eat real food. I eat food
Yeah,
that tastes good and it fuels me and it makes me feel good. And when I feel good on the inside, I shine on the outside.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And so I wanted to like work with people in teaching them like, how do you eliminate these food rules you know, that have been ingrained in us for so long. Like, I can only eat pasta on the weekends. Like, I can only have pizza on Friday nights. You know, like all these rules. And then, you know, when you do indulge in something that you love that's pleasurable, then you have that guilt and shame over it, right? So how do we like dissociate diet with body size and body image and associate these food choices with how it makes us truly feel on the inside? And when you start to feel really good and you're making those choices because you know that they're going to make you feel good, then the rest, the weight loss, the fat loss, the whatever body composition goals, all of that stuff really just like starts to effortlessly fall in place, kind of.
Yeah. Yes, it does. That's so true, because I think that just culture and society and everything, with all the history of dieting, and yes, I studied marketing in college. So, you know, they put, I was actually talking, I had a past wedding client, her father works for a big chicken company and he's over marketing. And we were talking about all their marketing stuff and how, like, he's like, yeah, for example, they'll put on the packaging no steroids because they know that the consumer is like, oh, well, this chicken is, you know, is not grass fed, is maybe grain free or whatever, and they don't give them steroids, but technically they can't even give them steroids in the US anyways because it's illegal.
I know.
It's like little, it's like little stuff like that, that of course most people are not going to know. But the people that are behind these big brands, they do know that it's just going to make them look like they have the edge up. There's just so many things out there, but it's true. Going back to the Whole Foods and everything like that, fueling your body the right way. I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, no, I was just saying, like, it's just frustrating thinking about like all these false promises, and these people are like kind of lying to people. And I always think about, you know, like how they always like claim Cheerios will lower your cholesterol if you just those, and it's like a refined carbohydrate is going to lower my cholesterol.
Right.
And but one brand out there, one product out there, you know, it's pretty much every processed packaged thing you buy is giving
Absolutely.
you.
Yep. 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 You're totally right. So what would you say that some of the common issues that you've seen, what are some of the common issues that you've seen with people that do a lot of dieting? Maybe a lot of yo-yo dieting back and forth.
Yeah, so kind of going back to like those false promises a little bit. So I won't use any like specific names for diets, but a diet makes this claim that this for 30 days, you'll look like this, and they show a before and after picture, right? But what those diets are not talking about is how did that person mentally feel during those 30 days when you made them restrict from X, Y, and Z and cut out whole food groups and undereat, but over exercise, you know, all of these things. And then what else are they not talking about? What happened on day 31? What happened on day 60? You know, and I feel like a lot of these diets, they're mentally really, really tough. Like we only as humans like have so much willpower, right? Like
Absolutely.
they make these diets like almost impossible to follow. And then what they do is they put the blame back on you as the client. Well, you didn't try, or you didn't time into this. So then they're like, oh, it's my fault, you know, as the person that did the diet. And then you got to pay to do it all over again.
Yeah.
You have no takeaway, like, right? Like on day 31, what's your takeaway? Like basically turned off all of your internal cues that you had, and you walk away with nothing. Like maybe you lost 3 or 4 pounds, but then you gain double that back when you go back into like just eating, you know, food again. So they're not sustainable. Short term, maybe get some results, yes, but they are not sustainable. They're long term, like not going to work. And I really hate like these diets that make us like cut out whole entire food groups, because what that can lead to is nutrient deficiencies in people. You know, if you cut out beans and legumes, or, you know, lentils or grains or whatever the case is, these people are losing out on fiber and vitamins and minerals and things that our bodies need. You know, but they think that they're doing the right thing because they're following protocol. So that's just a start on why I have issues with diets.
Yeah, and I have to add in because I remember trying a program similar. I don't want to like, I'm not throwing shade because I know people that follow this and they're fine. But I am, I totally 100% agree. I say this to people all the time when they ask me like about if they want help with losing weight or whatever their goal is. Cutting out whole food groups, it's just not sustainable. I mean, I don't want to be a dead horse, but it's like I can't repeat that enough because if you just think about 5 years from now, do you still want to be eating that restrictive where you can't have any type of rice or you can't have beans are good for you, just like she's saying, um, that's not good, or anything that is going to be quick a lot of times is not going to last either. You know, a lot of these people, everybody wants, we live in a microwave society. You know, they
Yeah.
want everything now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they don't want to go through the process that they need to go to. If it takes you a year to lose the 10 pounds, whatever, they don't want that because that's way too slow. You know, people
Yeah.
want these quick fixes. And a lot of times when it's quick, it's just not going to last, you know?
Not gonna.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah.
Exactly.
So yes, now I'm going to be asking you a couple questions that are general questions. So just to throw that to preface this, um, first one is what advice you have for someone that wants to learn how to manage their weight? And this is, of course, in general because she doesn't have, you know, a case or anything to look at all of your statistics, and you know, there's no conversation she's had prior, but just in general.
Okay, so the biggest thing is going to be starting really small. A lot of us tend to reach for straight perfection. Like, I want to go straight in, like hardcore. And again, that goes back to that sustainability. Like, when you are making 1,000 changes in one day and you try to sustain that over a week, like, it's just not going to happen. It's not realistic. So, starting really small. Another one too is thinking about what can I add in versus thinking about what I have to take away. So instead of
Yeah.
thinking to restrict from sugar or cut out my wine or like never eat pizza again, can you maybe just add an extra serving of vegetables in to every single meal and
Mm-hmm.
start there? Because what happens is then you're adding in these nourishing foods that are going to make you feel better, and over time that's going to crowd out the junk, right? Like,
Right.
crowd foods, crowd out the cravings for these things that are maybe not serving you so well. Um, Two, people get really caught up in a nutrition label and ingredients and things like that. So when you put the focus into just eating real food, one ingredient, an apple, an orange, an avocado, a piece of steak, like something that is not processed and packaged with a million different ingredients in it, have to know how to read a nutrition label, right? Like, you're just eating real whole food. So
Right.
taking back to those basics, shopping the perimeter of the grocery store, fruits, veggies, nuts, seeds, thinking about becoming more plant focused. And I'm not saying plant based, like I would never tell someone you should be a vegetarian or pescatarian or whatever, but
Right.
like, just add in more plant foods. And when you do that, you are going to start to feel so much better. And then the nitty gritty, if weight loss, fat loss is really the goal, you got to start with balancing and controlling your blood sugar. And that's
That's perfect because that goes into.
so.
Well, that's perfect. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Because that goes into the next question. So, in general, someone that maybe wants to learn to balance their blood sugar or boost their metabolism, like what advice do you have for those two?
Yes. So breakfast, you got to start with your breakfast because your breakfast is going to set you up for the whole entire day. At every single meal, especially your breakfast, you are making sure that you've got protein, healthy fat, and fiber. You're combining those three macronutrients to help control and manage that blood sugar. And when you do that consistently over time, your hormones become more balanced, you increase your metabolism, and you start really putting that body into fat burning mode. And so slowly but surely, you know, it takes a while to get, especially after years and years of dieting and eating too low calorie, like, it's not going to happen overnight. But when you really practice this protein, healthy fat, and fiber at every single meal consistently, that metabolism, that flexible metabolism is going to come, and that body is going to be put in fat burning mode. And over time, that's really how you balance your blood sugar. Another thing too is not eating starchy carbs by themselves. Starchy carbs are totally approved. Never go too low carb. Like I would never tell
Right.
you to cut starchy carbohydrates out. You add in carbohydrates as you feel like you need them based on your hunger cues, your activity levels, what type of job do you have? You know, are you on your feet all day or are you sitting at a desk all day? But you want to make sure that you're pairing the starchy carbohydrates or fruit with a healthy fat or a protein or both to make sure that that's really going to help. And you know, instead of spiking your blood sugar way too high or waiting too long in between meals and it dropping too low, it's going to help it really stay super stable.
Yes, yes, totally right. And she's also, that's mentioning basically like food combining, which is very, very important for your digestion and everything as well. Yes, yes, so good. So what about someone that wants to boost their metabolism?
You got to start with the blood sugar again. I go back. That's going to be your key. Use you protein, healthy fat, and fiber every single meal
Okay.
consistently over time. That's going to really boost your metabolism. Another thing is 3 to 4 hours in between meals. So it's not true that eating, you know, 5 to 6 small meals a day is going to boost your metabolism. It's actually quite opposite. So you want to eat 2 to 3 wholesome, well-balanced meals spaced 3 to 4 hours apart. That's going to help boost your metabolism. And then thinking about the things off the plate too, really important here. Are you hydrated? Sleep probably takes precedence over anything else. Like if you are sleep deprived, your body is not going to be able to burn fat no matter what.
Yep.
You got to sleep. You know, and just moving your body too. And I'm not saying you have to hit the CrossFit place for 2 hours a day. Like you could just go on a walk, you know, just
Right.
moving throughout the day. And I tell a lot of people, you know, that have desk jobs that are sitting for 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, for 5 minutes every hour, can you walk around the office? Can you take a lap around your building? Can you walk the stairs? 5 minutes every hour. No one is going to know that you're gone. It's okay. The work will still be there when you get back. But moving
Right.
your body every hour, just for a few minutes every hour, is going to do wonders, you know, over time. So
Yes, I agree. And to touch on the thing, I know a lot of people think that if you need to eat 5 to 6 times a day, but there's a lot of people that their digestion can't handle that.
yeah, and that's what it goes back to, is that digestion. Like you're putting an overload then, like you're not giving your body time to even digest the food
Mhm.
properly before you're again putting something else inside of it.
No, right. Yeah, I think, yeah, that was just kind of like an old school thought, but you know, I'm sure there's still people that are going to believe that, and that's fine. I guess some people that might work for, like you mentioned, everybody and everybody is
Yeah,
different
yeah, and exactly.
ultimately.
Your doctor says that that's best for you, or a licensed dietitian, because of some underlying condition that maybe you have, then go for it, you know, go for it for sure. But for most people, I think that it's best probably to really reel it back to those 2 to 3 well-balanced meals. And then you add in your snacks as you need to.
Mhm. Right. Absolutely. Okay, so as far as when you take on a new client, maybe someone that's watching or that'll watch the replay is interested in reaching out to you, what does the process look like? I know you kind of touched on it earlier, like you do a discovery call,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
how does the process work?
Yeah.
How
So
long is it normally?
yeah, so I have anywhere from just a month long. I actually did a 10-day spring reboost challenge too. So 10 days, you know, if somebody that really knows kind of what they're doing, but they're coming out of winter feeling like, oh, things are
Yeah.
not moving like they're supposed to. And I want to emphasize it's not a spring detox, you know, it's a reboost, like really like going back to those basics again. I have month-to-month programs. I've got a 3-month package, a 6-month package. So it's really based on what the client feels like they need, and knowing that that can be adjusted. You know, if they're 2 months in and they're feeling like, hey, I'm really good, like, I don't think I need the full 6 months, like, it's really up to what the client wants and what they feel comfortable with. But yeah, like we have that discovery call. We talk about the specifics of their goals, and we set that individualized plan. And what I provide is I'm the friend, I'm the health coach, the life coach, the accountability partner. You know, you have unlimited access to me. If you've got a question, shoot me a text, send me an email. Every Monday, all of my clients get a Monday memo that just touches on some kind of wellness topic. hot topic, whatever. And a lot of those stem from questions that my clients ask me too. So that way I can like get the word out to all of them at the same time. And I provide meal plans for my clients too. And this is not something that's like macro specific, you know, again, like I'm not prescribing a specific diet, but I'm just saying, if you want to go back to the basics and learn how to cook real food, here's a meal plan that you can follow for a week, and just see if you follow this for a week, how you feel, you know, because these meal plans and these recipes that I create are really based on balancing the hormones, controlling the blood sugar, and boosting that metabolism.
Yeah. And it sounds like you're also kind of teaching people how to be more intuitive, which is people get away from, you know, we sit in front of TV and just eat mindlessly and whatever. And we've become so accustomed to it, but your body tells you what you need. You know,
Yeah.
certain cravings other than sugar, because sugar is just, you know, sugar is addictive. But a lot of times your body is telling you what you need. You might be deficient in a certain mineral or a certain vitamin or whatever, or maybe you need more protein, or, you know, maybe you need more good healthy fats,
Yeah.
or carbs. Maybe you need some type of good complex carb.
Yeah.
That's really, really important to know how to listen to your body.
Yeah. It's, you know, I tell people too, like, our bodies are really, really smart and they know what we need. But when we have come from years and years of dieting and thinking that MyFitnessPal is going to tell us what we need, your body turns off those internal cues, you know, your leptin, your ghrelin, these like hormones that are supposed to tell you when you're hungry and tell you when you're full,
Yeah.
they stop working. It's that we don't pay attention. We don't know how to pay attention to them anymore. So it's funny that you say that, because last week and this week, my last 2 Monday memos have been on how to listen to hunger and fullness cues, and then how to practice more mindful eating, and tips and tricks that I've learned with myself. Like, I experiment with myself all the time.
That's awesome.
And so it's really, really important to start truly listening to what your body needs. And when you do that, again, you go into that effortless like weight loss, because it's just going to start happening when you're fueling your body with what it needs.
Yes, that's so good. So, what would you say a couple misconceptions about nutrition are that you would like to set the record straight on?
I got a big list.
Yeah.
It is not true that working out more and eating less is going to help you get to your goals any faster. If anything, it might do the quite opposite, because when you're not eating enough to fuel your body properly so that your body can just function and live out its day-to-day responsibilities, it's going to be stressed, you're going to be sleep deprived, you're not going to make the smarter choices. And I truly feel like when you are so super duper strict and going low calorie, you know, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m., and then it all breaks loose Friday at 5, you know, and then Friday through Sunday, what happens? You go through that restrict, binge, guilt cycle, and then you binge all weekend long because you gave your body no carbohydrates during the week. Like, of course it's going to be like, feed me, I'm so hungry.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
that's a big one. And that kind of touches too, like on the don't go too low carb, don't go too low calorie. Over time, that's going to do more harm than good. Eating healthy fat like nuts, seeds, avocados, olives, things like that is not going to make you fat. There is a huge difference between dietary fat and body fat. Our bodies need dietary fat, healthy dietary fat. It's how our cells communicate. It's, you know, so good for the brain. There's so many things. So eat the healthy fats. Your body will be happy if you do. Learning, I have a list. Should I keep going?
Yes, keep going. This is
Okay.
good.
Okay. What works for me is not going to work for you. So I like get on Instagram and I see all these like double tap, you know, for this keto journey. And it's like, they should be putting butter and coconut oil in their coffee and only eating steak. And it's like, well, no, this is not going to work for everybody.
No.
Not sustainable. So realizing that you have to take responsibility. You get one body, one life. it is your responsibility to know what you are putting in your body, right? And to educate yourself on what these products are and what ingredients are. And if you want to learn how to read the nutrition label, learning how to do that. So these things are just like, it's very important to learn, take it back to the basics, learn how to listen to those hunger and fullness cues. And that kind of too goes into like, so many people use these apps on their phone, MyFitnessPal, Chronometer, whatever, the macro counting things. I don't even know. I don't use them. They use the clock on the wall. So they're not allowed to eat until that number on the clock says it's time to eat. Even if they are hungry and their stomach is growling at them, MyFitnessPal said I already reached my calories for the day. I guess I got to go to bed hungry. And over time, what you're doing is you're lowering your metabolism. Yep. So yes, restricting from calories and carbs is going to work short term. But then what happens and why people gain double the weight back is because you've demolished your metabolism. It's no longer going to work for you. So be very careful, you know, of these diet programs out there that are making you intermittent fast and telling you to carb cycle and making you plug every single little thing into MyFitnessPal, because all that's doing is turning off your internal body cues, and you're not going to know how to live your life if you're trying to run everything like through technology. It's just not going to work. Our bodies aren't meant to work that way. So
no, that is so good. Oh my goodness. And I put the comment thing back up, so if anybody has questions, feel free to comment those real quick, because I don't want to hold her too much longer. But before we end, I wanted to also ask you, Cassie, what your fun fact is, because I always ask everyone that co-hosts with me for their fun fact.
Okay, well, so I've only been in Louisville for about almost 3 years now. I was living in California prior to this, and my fun fact is that my fiance and I actually met in Newport Beach. I was living out there and he was vacationing in California, and we literally ran into each other over the weekend while he was on vacation and seriously fell in love over one weekend.
Oh, that's so cute. So, that's a good fun fact.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe he got me to move to Kentucky from California. We dated long distance for a year, but yeah, after a year, he finally convinced me to make the move. So I've been here for 3 years now. But my family's in Indiana, so you know, I'm happy that I'm closer back to home, and it's all good.
Yeah, that is so cool. Okay, we do have a question. Can you boost your metabolism when on birth control? And I believe that's Christina. Hey, Christina.
I would think that you can. But again, that would probably be a question for your practitioner.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can really answer that question. I would, depending on the type of birth control it is, what hormones are part of that birth control, I would can if you practice the right things, you know, like controlling that blood sugar and working on the things off of the plate, sleeping, drinking your water, moving your body. But that would probably take a little bit of experimentation and also having that conversation with your doctor.
Yeah, and I want to add to also because you can, but yeah, it like you said, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends, like you said, because a lot of times, depending on what hormones are being, I guess, affected by this birth, because you know there's so many different types of birth control. But yeah, we would need some more specifics on that to be able to give you exact answers.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you so much, Cassie. And I guess right now, before we leave, and of course, I'm going to post the replay with all of her information so that you can get in touch with her. How can our viewers and the replay watchers get in touch with you if they have questions about anything or just want to follow along and stay in touch?
Yeah, probably the best way is just through my Instagram. It's at Be.nutritiated. Just shoot me a DM or a message through there. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I've definitely enjoyed this chat, and I know based on all the people that have been on that they've enjoyed as well. So thank you all so much for joining me for Monday's Muse, your weekly wellness dose, and we'll be back next week.
Thank
You have a
you.
good day.
Yeah, we'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.